started going back to bathroom, vomiting. I'm like, I thought I was over with this phase. It can't be returning. Vomiting and diarrhea can't be, right? Just can't be. All right, so in this part of the video, because it's a two-part video, we're going to talk about the second trimester. So for persons who just came across this video, I am Tasheena. I'm a trained teacher. I'll be talking about my pregnancy journey in my video. Now, if you missed the first trimester video, please go ahead and go back for that. I'll put the link so you can watch the first trimester to see what happened before the second trimester, right? All right, thank you again for staying tuned. Remember, if you are yet to subscribe, do go ahead and do so. Hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I do an upload. All right, like the video and share the video as well. All right, let's talk about my second trimester. And thank you so much for watching. I do see my subscribers increasing. Thank you guys. Send your family and friends over so they can subscribe. I do appreciate you all. All right, so I talked about the first trimester, trimester 2 now. At this point, girl was feeling a whole lot better. I wasn't having morning sicknesses. I wasn't vomiting. I wasn't having diarrhea, going to the bathroom, any of that. I was feeling pretty normal for the most part. I was sleepy though. Yes, I was a bit sleepy because where I was now was in the US. So, and the weather was so cold too. So I felt sleepy a lot of the time. All right, so to continue, I was eating now. So I started being able to eat, but still I couldn't eat in very big portion. So I had to be eating small portion, you know, and I ensured that I didn't stay hungry, because when I felt a bit hungry, I started to have a little bad feeling. So I tried to ensure that I always walk with something in my bag or had something on me that I could munch. So I started feeling normal. All right. Now I was transitioning from the US to come to Jamaica come back home, right? So anyways, I came back home. I was okay and everything. Then one day, first of all, I was like, yes, girl, getting her groove back on, feeling good, and, okay, pregnancy is going, it's going. That was my thought until one day, I remember I went on the road with my brother. I was hungry and I didn't eat. I want to feel it was gas that took me up, right? So when I eventually ate, I did kind of feel a little way when I didn't eat. And then when I eventually ate, I'm not sure if it had settled, but there was a feeling. Anyways, I think from that night or the day after, I started going back to bathroom, vomiting. I'm like, I thought I was over with this phase. It can't be returning. Vomiting and diarrhea can't be, right? Just can't be. But the good news was that it was just seemingly gas at that point in time, or for that period. So it never lasted for 24 hours. The vomiting and the diarrhea never lasted for 24 hours. So really and truly, in my second trimester, that was the only time I vomited and had diarrhea. So I didn't experience morning sickness. However, second trimester came with unexpected things, right? So by this, I started going clinic, doing checkup and all of that, because you're pregnant, you want to keep on top of things. So I think that was my first visit. I'm not sure if it was my first visit, but anyways, I went to the clinic. I got the requisition form to do second sonogram, because with pregnancy, I think it's 3 you do overall for each trimester, right? So I got the requisition form to go to a lab to get a sonogram done. That was, I think, in February. Yeah, so I went, because I'm someone that I like to do, be proactive and do what I got to do on the road. And pregnancy journey, I want to ensure everything is fine too. Anyways, the Monday I got the sonogram, the Monday afternoon I went after leaving the clinic to a lab and got it done. Lab tech was like, oh, the baby is active. First of all, I didn't want to know the gender because I wanted to know the gender in terms of having it in an envelope, not being said to me, because of course my partner isn't physically where I am. So I wanted to share that information, us finding out over the phone at the same time. So that was the arrangement for our gender. That was our little gender review type of vibe. So that had happened in the evening of that same day, because you know the time difference and whatever. So I remember when I was doing the lab, the lady was like, oh, her mouth slipped, the lab tech mouth slipped, and she was like, so and so very active. And I'm like, is she saying this or she's just using it in a general term? Anyways, everything was okay. She was like, yeah, you're okay. Then the day after, no, I realized I was talking to my spouse on the phone. And this you'll hear a little bit more in that specific video, because this incident I did detail in a video by itself, so I won't go in depth in this video. All right, so I will go in depth in this video of what happened. You'll get a video for that incident in itself, that experience in itself. So the day after doing the sonogram, the lab called and they were like, no, they called about between 5 to 10 times, and I'm like, no, this kind of seems serious. This person keeps calling, because at the time I didn't know it was them. So I called back and they were like, I need to come and pick up the results and go to the hospital. So boom, second trimester came with a complication. Didn't even know about this situation or this type of condition until now. And oftentimes you don't know until you're in the situation. So I had to do what is called a cervix collage. That's basically a stitch of the inner wall of the cervix. Like I mentioned, I do have a video that speaks to this, so you will see this video. Possibly after watching this one, it would be the next video that you'll see. So that came up, that was unexpected. That was dealt with. I had that entire experience, and this is one of the trying trimester, I will say, in terms of mentally, because I didn't expect that situation to arise. It did, and you know, now I am even more cautious, and I'm worrying, not to a great extent, but you know, constantly you're thinking about, you know, you want your baby to be okay and all of that. So this was a constant thing that I had while I was recovering from doing that particular procedure. So that was a constant thought of mine, and trust me, it was the most trying trimester because of that slight complication, you know. But what I realized, and even more so in this trimester, I started praying a lot more. And it's like almost I started seeing my life flashing before my eyes a whole lot more. You know, saying this to say that in a moment anything can change. So pregnancy comes with so much. It does. Before even becoming pregnant, this is just a little, you know, look a side note. Even before becoming pregnant, I always would say, if you're my friend, if you're my friend, I'm supposed to have had this conversation with you at some point in time. And I would always say, you know, pregnancy is not a journey you take on lightly. It's nothing. It should be deeply thought about, right? And even if the circumstance is unexpected where it happened, because mine is a planned unplanned type of pregnancy, planned unplanned. So, but in a case like that, you know, you have to realize that it comes with a lot. You have to become a whole lot more prayerful. And it was like every day I was looking out, because seeing the complication, and I had to do the procedure, and the procedure was to prevent anything from happening. I still have thought going through, because remember, I didn't know before. I started reading a whole lot more about the procedure. I started being a whole lot more keen, because you know, pregnancy start get real and real now, especially given I had incident that I had to deal with. So I was questioning a lot of stuff. I was more reflective, and I was just like, God really good, because before my incident of me having to go to the hospital to get the cervix collage, it was a mini surgery I had to do, right? I have not thought about being in an hospital. I've never had to, and I was like, we're really blessed. And I remember saying it to a friend, and she was like, that was one of her things. She didn't have the procedure. Her pregnancy didn't have that procedure, but she was saying, pregnancy will make you realize that we are blessed, and some things we take for granted, because so many persons laying in hospital bed and they can't move, and stuff of that sort, and have to be dependent on the nurses and the doctors that are there. So this trimester was filled with a lot of that for me. So I think, as I mentioned, this was where the mental toll took a lot of place, and how to come back to that type of a thing. I started reading on the procedure. I started getting videos here on YouTube as well, getting more comfortable. I eventually found a private doctor as well, and I'll speak to that in another video too. But that was second trimester. It became real. So I wasn't sick, but something else happened. The incident of me having to do this surgery just made things a bit more real. But I can tell you, God has been good, and He is good. He brings us to certain points in terms of things happen. He allows for things to happen, so we can really be dependent on Him and reflective on Him. I'm not blamed for persons who are gonna reason this part anyhow you want. I'm not blaming. I'm saying things have to happen for you to come to a point of realization of certain things and acknowledgement of certain things. That's my belief. So, not that I wasn't acknowledging in my life, but in good bad. Because in my case, I rapidly did my procedure, which good for me, because probably if I had to wait, I would probably have lost my baby. And I'm glad I don't know what that feels like, and I don't want to know what it feels like, because I can imagine that's very devastating. So I'm trying to remember if I'm missing out anything on my second trimester, but it was a good trimester. It's just that one incident, that need for that surgery just shifted a whole lot of things. Oh, and what came with that now is that I became a little bit more dependent, in the sense where recovering from that procedure and having to be careful, I had to rally on my mom and my little brother. Yeah, I had to rally a lot on them, and this isn't really one of my favorite things, but because being dependent isn't really one of my favorite things, but as I said, things have to happen to show you, and so a lot of plans got shifted too because of the change that had resulted. So a lot of my plans I initially had to be shifted. But that is pregnancy. It comes with unexpected events. It should not be taken slightly or lightly. And just to end this second trimester video, men and even ladies, especially men, because I think during this second trimester I had seen a video too of an incident that occurred in Jamaica, where the young man was kicking his baby mother, and she was looking very advanced in her pregnancy. She was seemingly at probably the third or second, almost ending the second trimester of her pregnancy. And I think it happened in after 3. I think the storyline was that she had children for him, or a child before, and he wasn't supporting that child, and she took him to the family court, and he became frustrated, but allegedly, him being physical with her wasn't the first. This wasn't the first occurrence of that. And I'm just referencing that to say that, gentlemen, it's not an easy journey. And if you're not going to value somebody's daughter, yeah, leave them alone. Leave them alone, because I cannot imagine her being so advanced and me now knowing how fragile you really are when you're pregnant, because anything can go wrong at any point in time, and anything happen that we did not plan for, you know. And for you to beat upon your female that you got pregnant under whatever circumstance, you know, I'm just saying, respect to the ladies. It's not an easy journey, pregnancy, and it's literally the closest thing to Christ giving his life for us, because it's a sacrificial type of thing. That's now the female's body going on a sacrifice, carrying that child, and a lot did not make it through childbirth. So I'm just imploring us, gentlemen, if you came across this video, please, I'm asking, be supportive of your partner, especially in a case where she's pregnant with your child. If you have a friend, a family member, try to be as supportive to I was gonna say he or she, but try to be supportive to her, because it's not an easy journey, especially if complications come up unexpectedly, as was with my case, right? Embrace us, be supportive. Don't underestimate the support that you can give to us, you know. Don't underestimate however little you might think a gesture is. Don't underestimate it. And ladies, because that was for the men, ladies, also take and pay keen attention to yourself as well, right? Pregnancy is a journey. You can't really allow yourself to be lackadaisical type of vibe, because in my case, hadn't I gone ahead to do if you're hearing noise, it's rain falling. Hadn't I gone ahead to do that ultrasound immediately, we would have known what would have happened, you know. Because sometimes things are happening in your body that you are not able to tell, and some things you're able to tell. All right, so with that said, that was my journey, my second trimester journey. I hope that the video somewhat can be inspirational for someone too, and I'm just sharing my experience on my pregnancy journey. If you don't know what cervix curlage is, you'll definitely learn a little bit about it in my next video when I talk about my experience doing my cervix curlage. Yes, so definitely stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell so you can be notified, like the video and share the video. Tell a friend to come on over so they can join this part of the family here on YouTube. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I see you guys. I love your support. Bye.